What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about ZBCN, Zebec today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, okay? It is the 24th day of October, and here we are sitting at about $0.00358 right now, 11 and a half hours left in the day. We do have a little bit of a wick to the downside from yesterday's price action. I do believe that that was the low. What a spectacular recovery that was, prodding right down directly to the golden ratio from a low to a high here. Not the fake out high. We could take the fake out high and it still hits the golden ratio, but by the way that I draw the fibs, it's nitpicky, but I think that we shouldn't use the fake out high. I think this is the move. This is the consolidation phase. So if I'm measuring a low to a high of a move, I want to take the move, not the fake out high. I hope that that's obvious as to why I'm doing that. But low to high here, golden ratio, we found it directly on the dot. And again, it doesn't matter whether you take this point or you take this point, you're still bouncing right off the golden ratio. Love to see it. Now what we don't want to do is we don't want to return down here, because likely if we are to return down here, by the way of the fibs at least, you would expect then to encounter prices at the 786, 886, right? The first attempt, you find support. The second attempt, you break through. Or maybe you find support, and then the third attempt you break through. But it just depends. It depends on how it works out. The statistical probability of this being the low is the highest when we do not go back to it. Okay. The statistical probability of seeing prices down here is higher with each interaction we have down at this area. Okay, so we are moving down a little bit right now, but hopefully if we look at the short-term stuff, we can see a little bit of recovery, and that can give us some optimism for today's close. I think we're going to find that, because really looking at where you are, looking past just this day itself, you're at a perfect area to find support. Support here, resistance there. I mean, hell, yesterday you couldn't even close below this area, so I doubt you're going to. But let's just look at the 1 hour time frame. We'll see what we're dealing with here. Maybe I'll eat those words. I'm sure I won't. I'm very confident actually that we found our low, but we'll see. Looking at the 1 hour time frame here, looking at this, and let's look at it with some volume. I do this every single time, man. A lot of volume there at the low. A lot of volume. A lot of buying pressure. Look at the 1 minute time frame. Yeah, a lot. A lot of buying pressure right there. Let's zoom in. All right, look at that. Biggest volume was at the low, and that was a massive reversal there. You had like a mini V-shaped recovery here. A lot of volume on the way down. Definitely a lot of volume on the way down, but the biggest spike was on the way up, and you had a lot of volume on the way up too. So maybe the same people who sold are the same people who bought. I mean, look at this, right? Let's see. Most volume, most selling pressure was here. Maybe not. I don't know. It's hard to gauge. I'm sure we could figure that out if we really wanted to, but I don't really care enough. Let's go back to the 1 hour time frame. Looking at the current price here, looking at the indicators. Look at that. We're coming back up already. Love to see it. The 1 hour RSI is looking productive. It actually looks like it's right at an area where you'd expect it to bounce. We've got higher lows here, higher highs here, right? Uptrend. And you are bouncing right off the 40. Lovely to see, right? Getting overbought or getting to the overbought zone and not getting to the oversold zone, that's a good thing, right? Just like getting oversold and not getting to the overbought zone, that's a bad thing. We're effectively doing here, what we're doing here is effectively what we did there, but to the reverse effect, right? Bad, good. We're probably going to get overbought as well. So on the 1 hour time frame, this does look good for a Friday close, maybe even going into Saturday, some positive price action. The MACD is crossed above the zero, which is good, I suppose, and then the stochastics. The stochastics are the only thing I actually have a problem with. The stochastics are the only thing that are telling me we have lower to go still. It's very odd. It would be very odd to find support here. Look at, I mean, have you found support here any other time? Nope. Nope. Zoom out even. Let's just see. I mean, you found support down here, but that's different, right? Right here, there you go. Hey, it happens. It does happen, but rarely. I guess look back here a couple times. Okay, it happens. It happens, but still rarely. That's the one thing giving me that's hanging me up. But on the bright side, the RSI I think is more reliable, and it's the 1 hour time frame. On the 1 hour, the stochastics are less reliable in my opinion. So still reliable, but just less reliable than they are on higher time frames. Looking at the RSI here on the 4 hour time frame, we are in a bit of a downtrend, aren't we? We've got lower highs here, but we have higher lows, which is nice to see. Lower highs, lower lows for the most part, though. Overall, like if we just kind of trim out this blemish here, if I could draw a straight line to save my life, we trim out that blemish, these blemishes here, it really does look like you're in a downtrend. So we're looking to break out of this. We're certainly looking to break out of the top side here, and I think we can. The fact that we've avoided getting into the oversold zone, I think, is a testament of strength in itself. We'll see. Stochastics on the 4 hour are totally different than they are on the 1 hour. They very much suggest that we're going to go higher. And then the MACD is sad. Let's be fair. It is sad. But I think we are getting some signals that we're wanting to turn around, right? We've got the oscillators here, higher lows on all of these, higher lows in the histograms with lower lows in the price, and we haven't really seen a comeuppance from this. We haven't seen any bullish repercussions take place. So I think that we are going to move higher. That'd be the expectation here. Again, validating the idea that that is the low, that we probably don't go below that low. And I don't think we should take a fib from this low to high, but let's just see what it gets us. I mean, hell, you bounced right off that golden ratio too. It's perfect. You literally respected that to a T. I don't know if that's a coincidence or what, but that's kind of cool to see there. Yeah, finding support here, looking like you want to move up higher. I'm very convinced that we do. Looking at the daily time frame now. I mean, I guess that low to high is such a it's a very similar low to high here. Anyways, looking at the daily time frame, we were at our low points starting this video. I think that that'll be the low points of the day. We're probably going to continue to move higher going into the end of the day. If we move lower at all, I expect it to be an insignificant amount lower, but we likely do find support relatively like in this area. And then over the coming days, whether it's over the next 2 to 3 days, or maybe we go on pause for a few days and then next week we start to rally soon enough, within the next, let's say, 3 to 4 days, we're going to start to really see some life. If not even today or tomorrow. I mean, we really could move up over the weekend. Saturday, Sunday, it's possible. We really could move up. Why can't I say that? We really could. We really could. I feel like I have a hard time saying that. I go like whoop, 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 whoop. Anyways, $0.036 right now, 11 hours, 25 minutes left in the day. Fully expecting that we recover here from a high to a low. Looking at this Fibonacci retracement here, we're at the 382. So a very good kind of target area to assume from here would probably be the golden ratio. That's at about 0.046, almost 0.047 to 0.005. Something in that area. That lines up pretty well with resistance points back here. But again, we've found a lot of significance here. Resistance, support, resistance, support. I mean, it's a significant level. Typically with significant levels, you expect to find respect there. But whenever you overplay it like this, I mean, maybe we do just blast through and we go all the way up here to the 786, 886. I would say anything from 0.063 at the highest to 0.046 at the lowest. This is the area that I expect we achieve certainly by the end of the month, certainly by the end of October. I believe that we're up there, if not higher. But yeah, that's the expectations at the moment. I think that we will make this move going into the coming days and the coming week and a half that we have left in this month. Really, is it even a week and a half at this point? It's like a week and a day. It's the 24th, so we got 1 week left, including today. It's a week and like 11 and a half hours. Wow. Crazy, guys. October went fast. I don't know about you guys, but October went fast for me. September was slow, very slow. October went very fast. Crazy. September was pretty boring, huh? Pretty boring for ZBCN at least. Was it boring for Bitcoin too? Not really. September was kind of exciting for Bitcoin, wasn't it? Up until the end there. Up right up until the end there. Anyways, or no, was the end good? Let's see. Let me look at this. Did we? No, we pushed up. Oh yeah, no, we did dump down a little bit, but then we pushed up into the end. That's right. Anyways, yeah, I guess September was boring for Bitcoin too, right? You just kind of went up and then back down and then up going into the end there. ZBCN will inevitably see new all-time highs. We're right on the precipice of doing this, right? What's nice about this is that we can expect to see this by the end of October, but by the end of November, we're going to be up here, man. We're going to be through that level there. We're probably going to be above 2 cents. I would expect that we are at least at 2 cents by the end of November. At most, I mean, we could be all the way up at 7.7 cents. Ultimately, this next movement up, I do think takes us to about 4.5 to 7.7 cents, something up there. But is it by the end of November that we get there, or by the end of December that we're there? You know, that's kind of the question here. Of course, the sooner the better, because then we can achieve higher prices likely by the end of the cycle. But I am assuming at this point in time that, you know, we really could see, I would think at a minimum 2 cents by the end of November. But ultimately, again, the idea here is this move, if we're looking at it for what it is, it's a continuation of this move, which is all birthed from this accumulative zone here. There's a lot of accumulation going on. We're resting right on top of that prior zone there. We're accumulating here as well. And whenever we break out, I think that we're going to move in a very similar fashion here. So again, the idea there is that that was a 5-week movement that took us up 10x. Whenever I say that we could be at 4.5 cents by the end of November, I really do mean it, right? Like, let's see, a 10x from here. I guess that wouldn't put us at 4.5 cents, would it? But by the end of November, still 3 cents, 4 cents, whatever. We could still see crazy growth in that same amount of time. And I am expecting overall that this move will be bigger than what this move produced. Okay, so we're going to see a bigger move, a larger move overall, likely something that takes us to about 4.3 to 7.5. Is that right? Is that the right? Maybe there. Okay, there we go. 4.4 to 7.7 cents overall. See, it's important to get the actual high, not the secondary high there. That's where I think we're going to see by the end of this year, if not sometime by the end of November. And then as time goes on, we will progress to higher levels. A lot of people have been concerned with all-time high targets, right? They're saying that I'm leaving out. I've seen some people say that I'm leaving out all-time high targets intentionally because I don't believe in them anymore. No, that's not true. I do believe in all the all-time high targets that I've said. If we change the plan on that, I'm very transparent about that. With ZBCN, the expectations here are that we see something around like 50 cents, right? 42 cents, 50 cents, whatever. We could see something in that area there. If we look at the current price, I mean, that gives us a 100 and let's say we stop right there at like 44 cents, 45 cents. That's 124x. 124x, we go to ZBCN here. 100x puts us at 34 billion roughly. $34 billion, right? Can we agree on that? 34 billion. Add another 20x to that, 25x to that. Is that 7.5? So it's like 41, 42 billion dollars. That's a very attainable. You could see double that, man. You could. I'm not saying that you will. That's pushing the barrier. I'm just saying it's possible. But you could see more than that even, right? Like Zebec, is it going to go to $2? Or sorry, is it going to go above $1? Probably not. Probably not. You're probably not going to go above $1. But you probably do, I would think, you probably do see prices at a minimum above 14 cents. And at a maximum, I would think that we see something around like 70 cents, 50 cents, maybe 40 cents itself. But something that 100x, if not more, is very possible for a coin like this. And if we don't see 100x, I mean, that's at about, again, a $40 to $45 billion market cap. Maybe we see half that. Maybe we see, something on the lines of a 16 to 20 cent price instead of a 40 to 50 cent price. But that's the end of cycle prediction that we have. I am thinking that we're in the midst of a 5-legged move. So 1, wave up. 2 is your consolidation phase. Wave 3 should take us somewhere in here. We consolidate, and then our 5th leg here to end the cycle off in March, April, May, somewhere in that kind of area, would likely put us here actually. I mean, if we think about it, if we think about this logically, or we're trying to think about it logically using Elliot wave theory, okay? I'm going to leave all these fibs up here. The first move typically is the smallest, right? If we're dealing with a 5-legged pattern, Elliot impulse wave here, the first leg is typically the smallest of the impulsive legs. The 3rd leg is typically the biggest of the impulsive legs, and the 5th leg is typically somewhere in between. It can be smaller than wave 1, but typically it's bigger than wave 1. It can even be bigger than wave 3, but typically it's smaller than wave 3, okay? Wave 5. So we take this leg, which is wave 1, okay? And we assume that wave 3 will be bigger than wave 1. So wave 3 likely starts somewhere around here, right? We're not going to put it at the low because I think that was a scam wick. I think more appropriately, wave 3 would start here. That would likely take us above this price, which probably then, and let's actually just do this here. Let's go 0. Maybe I'll just take a whole new one as it is. We'll go here 1, 2, and let's say it's bigger, so we stop somewhere in here. Let's just put it right at the middle. It's 6 cents there. 3. We'll consolidate again, maybe back test. If we stop at the 2886, maybe we go to the 1886 for support. 4, and then wave 5 should be our spectacular finale finish. Will it be as big as wave 3 if we go all the way up there? That's the question that I have. The presumed outcome of wave 3. So that would be bigger. So we might see wave 5. Wave 5 could be bigger than wave 3, but again, statistically speaking, it's likely going to be smaller We'd likely see it be larger than wave 1 though as well, low to high here. So something that is, I mean, it could be the same size. I think we really nailed it on the head, you guys. I really think that something between a 14 to 50 cent price is probably the most accurate expectation to have. That would be my expectation. Minimum, maximum, somewhere in between is the most probable, right? Anyways, I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, hit the like button, subscribe, take care of yourselves. Thank you all for being here. We will monitor ZBCN, Zebec, of course, as it goes through all of its trials and tribulations, and hopefully we come out on top at this 40 to 50 cent area. If not, at a bare minimum, you should expect something around 15 to 20 cents. That'd be my expectation. I got nothing else. Hit the like button. Take care. Bye-bye.